and welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions. What do I think is going to happen? Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show from time to time because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that from time to time. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. Well, this week it wasn't so terrible. It was okay. It did have its moments here and there, but we're going to see what we come up with what happened. Couple of disclaimers first. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this may not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if I happen to not mention anything in particular, it could be because I plumb forgot, or it really just wasn't newsworthy, so I didn't bother mentioning it. It is what it is, nature of the beast, that's what I like to call it. And if you do like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so kind if you hit that like and subscribe button, and also the bell notification that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. Alrighty. Okay, so the beginning of the week, we saw Cardigan Kane. He was in his North American train in Genoa City. All right, so this guy is sitting back, all weary, wounded, and sad. So much so that he's remembering the last moments with his father, Colin, which once again, Tristan Rogers, who played Colin, he did pass away in real life. So condolences once again to such a wonderful character and an actor. Okay, so Kane was reeling over his last conversations with Colin, and it just really got to him because Colin was kind of just trying to, basically tell him that, when all else fails, it's your family, that kind of thing, like, what are you going to do? So you can amass all these different things, but at the end of the day, it's your family. I mean, this is a life lesson for real. It is. So this triggered Kane to ideally make a video message, which, by the way, pretty much took the entire episode. But he made this video message to Charlie and Maddie over his, all the little tricks he's done, becoming this persona of Aristotle Dumas. And, he basically fessed up at some point that, yes, he was doing it for them as well as Lily, but he didn't think it was going to go as far as it has. And the fact that when he started amassing all this wealth and, I guess, notoriety, if you will, it became so intoxicating, his words, that it's almost like he couldn't stop. So he was like on this high of, wealth, if you will, for what, 6 years, maybe? Yeah, so that was pretty much like the first episode of the week, and I guess he was trying to right a wrong, if you will, through video message. And at some point, this is like somewhat near the end of that episode, Phyllis, she's eavesdropping. Like, once again, I say, Phyllis, you're my girl, but now you're on complete desperation street. Like, you need to cut this out. So she's on the train and she's listening to Kane pour his heart and soul out in this video recording. And by the time he finishes, she does one of these. So, yeah. And he's like, oh, who's that? Well, Kane, the only person that keeps visiting you is Phyllis anyway, so I don't even know if you really needed to ask who it was. Obviously. So yes, Phyllis is there and she's eavesdropping. She shows her face and she's going on about, did you send this message? And he's like, wow, that's great. You were listening in on a personal a personal call, if you will, that I was doing. That's really nice of you, really big of you. And she's like, well, look, you know, sorry about that, but yeah, I think you should send this message off to the kids because they're going to forgive you. And then once again, she backtracks to when she staged her own death and had her children mourn for her. Who does this? Remember, she was like there at this memorial? Okay. And so, yeah, she said, you should just send this off. The kids are going to forgive you. You know, you're a loving dad. And he just was like, I wasn't there for them. You know, Charlie's graduation, I wasn't there. When Maddie had that, remember the whole thing where somebody at her school passed away? Um, and he's like, he wasn't there. He didn't stay long enough to be there to comfort her. Okay. So yeah, Phyllis was like, you know what? Just keep doing whatever you're doing. And yeah, she furthered her investigation of the whole AI that he had asked her to do. And she's like, I got into some dark places. Okay, Phyllis. Okay. And she's like, you need to like you can do damage with this information. This She didn't say those words, but that's basically what she was saying. So by the end of it, he basically told her, not there, but over the phone, because she left. And he told her, yeah, the deal is off. Like, I'm not furthering this whole pursuit of gathering all these different businesses, you know, Newman, Jabot. Like, he's not into all of that at this point because, once again, he's trying to right a wrong. Phyllis now is like losing her noodle once again over this, and she's like, "You what? You can't do this." Next episode, once again, she's going on about you can't hang up the phone on me. You can't do all that stuff. What are you, crazy? Like, no, we had a deal. We're partners. Phyllis, you're not partners. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, who was eavesdropping or who heard this conversation while she's leaving this message on Cardigan Kane's phone was Nicholas. Nicholas is like, mm-hmm. And he ends up having this conversation with her because, again, he hears pretty much everything. He heard her call Kane's name. And he's like, so what do you do now? Like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, how do you know I was talking to Kane? How do you know? But he's like, this was very obvious. Okay, Phyllis, enough. And he's like, you know what? I want the best for you, that kind of thing. But he told her, in essence, if he's not doing any of this stuff, this is the perfect time, Phyllis, for you to jump ship. Like, let it go. Be done with this guy because he is nothing but bad news. So, like, don't. And she's like, basically, she's like, I don't need saving or anything like that. I'm fine on my own. And she is spiraling because, again, she, out of her own mouth, says she has nothing. Like, there's nothing going on for her. So, side note, her and Audra, they need to join forces, come together, and, you know, sing Kumbaya as far as I'm concerned, because they're both weary, wounded, and sad, and quite frankly, it's their own doing. Just saying. So, yeah, Nicholas was like, obviously, I'm trying to warn you, I'm trying to tell you, whatever, but you're not listening. I don't know what else. And she stormed off because she's all hot under the collar. Well, Nick, I don't know what to tell you, but Phyllis is going to have to learn, like she always does, but it's going to be the hard way. Being locked up, I don't know if it really softened her at all. But We shall see. Okay, so we saw um, Kyle and Claire. Oh, goody, goody, goody. So at some point in time, we saw Kyle and Claire. This was at the Abbott mansion, and they were having like a nice little conversation. Well, somehow that went completely left when Claire was like, "Is there something further that happened in Nice that you haven't told me about? Like, is there something else?" Because again, Spidey sense, ding. Claire, she knows that something was going on. She knows. Well, this guy starts, doing this backtrack in his brain over what happened and, his conversation with Jack and Diane about you better fess up because this is just gonna, you know, lead you down the primrose path of destruction if you're not honest with her. So he was literally caught between a rock and a hard place where Claire was concerned. And she was not giving up, not at all. And he had to fess up and say, well, yeah, he did kiss Audra in Nice. This is the part where I felt it for Claire. Like, how would you feel knowing that this occurred? And I said this before. He went too far. And further to that, why did he have to go through that length? Why didn't he just cut loose and say, you know what, Audra? I'm already hip to your game. I don't know what you're trying to do here, but you can't coerce me or lead me to be close to you like that because my allegiance is to Claire, and I don't really care whatever Victor has promised you. It's not going to work. I already know what your game plan is. No, you had to go all in your skivvies and be on the bed, kissing her down. What was that for? And then he tells Claire, yeah, it went a little bit further, just a little bit. Kyle, you are so crazy. Like, what? You just make me upset. Why did you do this? And then now you want to backpedal? Oh, Claire, oh no, it didn't mean anything. The moment that I just had to follow the plan, and the plan? Which plan was that, Kyle? A plan that you just drummed up on your own. Like, Kyle, Claire, sorry, you need to cut him loose. Let's see his track record for a second here. Summer way back in the day, that was a bust. Lola, poor thing, she was probably done the dirtiest. That was a bust. Summer again, a bust. With him and Audra, that fleeting whatever the dickens that was a bust. And now Claire, really? Was he with anybody else? Does anybody chime in if you know if he was with somebody else? Because I can't remember off the top of my head. Probably isn't even important, but he screws up every relationship that he's in. This is Kyle Abbott in a nutshell. What a guy. Anyway, so yeah, poor Claire is like hurt. She's distraught. And this all after Victor had said, you know what? Not that you have my blessing, but I'm going to leave you guys alone. Date, do whatever you have to do. I'm not going to mess with it. Kyle, you better just, I don't know, you want to write a check, a bank draft, whatever, for the $5 million and just send it on over to Victor because this is not good. It's not good. So Claire ends up telling Nikki and Victoria what occurred because, again, the poor child she's distraught. And they basically said, oh no, however, even though he's made a mistake, we can tell that he really loves you. Now I'm thinking, if I had with my daughter, would I allow this? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't sit back and say, oh, the faux pas, because he knew what he was doing. No, no, no. No, that wouldn't slide with me. Sorry. But yeah, in soap opera land, it's sliding on through. So she's now where she needed some space. She told Kyle, I can't make things okay for you. Like, I need some space, whatever. Well, then you have Kyle, on the other hand, who's sitting back, like, tail between his legs. He's feeling like a schmuck, and rightfully so. And then he goes and tells his parents what has happened, that he had to fess up and tell Claire. And Diane with her facial expressions, and she's like, well, I hope you don't think that because of what we said to you, like, oh. He's like, no, 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 I knew that I had to tell her the truth. No, 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 no. And yeah, so now they're waging, this is Jack and Diane, mostly Diane, mind you, is waging a war on Victor, and the fact that we need to take him down for the last time because he's messing with our son and it's not happening. So Jack is sitting back going, I wonder. And Diane's like, oh, what? You don't want to do this because of poor Nikki. Poor Nikki. And he's like, well, you know what? She loves it. She's like, I am not going to let that man mess with our son. This is not happening. Go, Diane. And she's like, boom, boom, boom. So now Jack's sitting back going, yeah, I think we need to do this. Now that should be a decent storyline, although it has been regurgitated umpteen times over the years between him and Victor. But I would just like a nice refresher, if you will. All right. So then on the other hand, we saw Audra. Now Audra, let's just skim past Audra for like the beginning part. Get to the nitty gritty as the fact that she told Nathaniel what she did. And the fact that, yes, Victor asked her to do this and she did it because she wanted something for herself. And the fact that she hadn't had any work for how many months and that she was like going stir crazy. And this was an opportunity that she didn't want to pass up. And she kissed Kyle. Well, Kyle kissed her, whatever the dickens it was, however you want to spin it. They were hot and heavy, and that she was distraught over the fact that Damien died, and she just was in for comfort. You know what? All I can say is just that shouldn't have happened. You want to comfort, so you thought it was okay to cheat on your man? Are you kidding? What? This is okay? I don't know. Audra, here's the thing. Even though Nate basically told her, he told her off good and proper eventually. Even though he told her off, I feel like Nate is Mr. Softy and that somehow she's going to weasel her way back. Although I still think her and Kyle will end up, back at some point in time because he's just sleazy that way. Because we still need to make room for Claire and Holden because, at least I think I know that that's going to happen, but okay. Kyle proposed to Claire and she just was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he asked her to marry him. That was left where she has not answered him yet, but she looks like deer caught in headlights. And I feel like she'll be like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, no. Although she did say she has not let go of the idea of them moving in together, but yet she sits back and saying, no matter, in essence, even though she may want that, that may not be what can happen. Claire, you're being way too sweet and pudding pie where Kyle's concerned, because to me he's like a deadbeat. He went hot and heavy, got a ring for her, and no. So I think that there's this ounce of um, what do I want to call it? Like truth, where Audra is concerned concerning Kyle. I don't think he would have stopped. I, excuse me. I think he would have probably kept going. I don't know. Just my opinion. But Nate had told Devon and Lily that they're no longer, that they're at loggerheads, if you will, and it doesn't look good. And he's sorry that he should have listened to them. And okay, there's no use, Nate, crying over spilt milk, because you were in a relationship with this girl, and we did see some, albeit pleasant, moments between the two of you, especially where Amy was concerned. But I think we all collectively knew this was not going to be long lasting. It wasn't. Like, now we see you and Victoria, chumming it up. And there was a point in time where you and Victoria were together. So yeah, the two of them were chumming it up at the park. And Nate was talking about, his relationship and its demise. And Victoria was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I know that you really cared for her and whatnot. And he's like, well, no, you're not sorry. She's like, no, I really am. Whatever. They exchanged their little pleasantries, nice little smile between the two of them. So it kind of came to a crescendo, but you basically can see them getting back together, or at least, even if they don't come back together as a couple, at least where they are close buddies, like, hey, let's get together this weekend type thing. And just because they want to comfort one another because they've both experienced a loss. So yeah, but I still think they may end up together again, because I didn't mind them back however many years ago. I didn't mind them together. Looked a little awkward, but I didn't mind it. So yeah, we'll leave room for that. Okay, so we saw Kane speak to Billy, which didn't Billy look like with his little paisley shirt and his little chinos? He looked like he was getting ready for Miami Vice. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't care for it, but whatever. So Kane had come over to Billy's place and basically had this discussion about how, what, he's not going to, release his reign of terror. And you know what? Chancellor is up for grabs. Like, have at it, Billy. I'm not interested at this point. So Billy's like, oh, okay then. So he's a happy clam. Sally she's getting ready for this, finally, this Abbott communications launch. And of course, her little wingman at this point is Audra, who is sitting back going, are you kidding me? Why is the name hasn't changed? I can't work for an Abbott. Like, Kyle, Jack, and Diane, what? Are you kidding me? So Sally's like, you're not going to, like, leave me at this point. No, I won't. Not this close to the launch, but, all I can say is, let's just get this whole, launch out of the way. Move it. I'm done with waiting for this to launch. This is just like waiting for Mariah to tell her side of the story, like what actually happened. Nobody cares anymore. We don't care. Just saying. So, what else happened? I don't know if much more happened really, because we saw, I mean, Victor and Jack, they have their words. And of course, Victor was telling Kane, he sent him a message about, are you in with the plan, or let's get this going concerning Jabot. Oh boy, what a joke. Lily, again, her little softened heart, because Kane was like, did you look at the video message? And she's like, no, not yet. This was when she was speaking with Devon and Nate, after Nate was telling her, both of them, his woes with Audra. So eventually she ended up in the park and she's watching this video, and you could just see her whole facial expression start to just wah, wah, wah. Like, it was warming her heart to see Kane spew his guts out about the error of his ways. Dum, dum, dum. Can we say reunion? I'm telling you, I feel this is what's going to happen. Who else is there for Lily? Daniel? Not happening. He's going to end up with Tessa. So, yeah, that's about it. I mean, Billy is there with Sally, which I don't see that lasting much longer anyway, but she's not going to go back with Billy. So, yeah, Kane is the one. However, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. But there's going to be at least 2 people joining the show. I just remember his character playing Todd Manning on, was it Another World? No, One Life to Live. He played Todd Manning. Anyway, that gentleman, if you look him up, he will be joining the show. His character is Hush Hush. People are speculating, saying that it's Kane's brother, Caleb. But didn't he die? Yeah. I don't know. And you would have to have this other role for Billy Flynn to play, because back in the day when Kane had his brother, they were identical twins. So you can't go flip the script now. I don't know. People are also saying that they need a new police officer on the show since Chance is gone. Total possibility. Maybe they could bring Ronan back. I don't know. Wasn't Ronan, wasn't he brother to Chance as well? Or was it Philip? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I can't. No. I'd have to look it up, refresh my memory. I told you my short-term memory is a little bit off. But anyway, yeah, I think that was pretty much the week. I don't think I've missed much of anything. So, yeah, if you stuck around to the end of this video, I'm so grateful. I really appreciate your time. I love you lots. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens this coming week. I want to say this week should be a pretty decent one, based on the spoilers that I saw. So let's hope, cross our fingers, cross our toes, and hopefully that it starts to pick up a little bit. So you all take care, and once again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and also the bell notification, and also share. Why? Because sharing is caring. I really appreciate the love. All right, I will see you next time, and take care. Bye.